Breaking now on the Russia investigation in the wake of the FBI raid on the president's personal attorney's home in Washington and office, rather. Washington bursting with expectations it could spark action by the president, that he's actually considering firing Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who the president blames for recusing himself from the Russia in the first place, and also Sessions' deputy Rod Rosenstein, who personally approved the recent raid. Joining us now, Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert, who sits on the House Judiciary Committee. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Sure.
You know, I need to point out that neither Richard Nixon's attorneys during the Watergate crisis nor Bill Clinton's legal counsel in the Starr investigations faced similar treatment from investigators. And what does it tell you that Monday's FBI raid on Michael Cohen's office, home, and hotel room is the first search of its kind targeting a president's personal lawyer in modern American history?
Well, it tells you all you need to know about the kind of person Robert Mueller is. When Eric Holder in an interview recently said, no, he knows Mueller well and he's sure he'll get something on Trump, he does know Mueller. And in fact, though he was appointed by Bush, Mueller not only finished serving his term as FBI director under Obama and Eric Holder, but they extended him 2 years. I don't know of anybody else that was as crushed as I was, because I knew how much damage this man did to the FBI. I would submit he did more damage to the FBI than all the other FBI directors put together since J. Edgar Hoover. He has been a disaster. And while he was FBI director, William Jefferson was being investigated, and I read the affidavit in support of a search warrant they got to bust into a congressional office. Unprecedented, over 200 years, the way you handle the conflict of interest, with the congressional privilege being even higher than attorney-client. You always would go to the ethics attorneys here at Capitol Hill, and they would take all the things from office, and they would sort through. Mueller wanted to send a message that you yahoos on Capitol Hill, we are bigger, we'll threaten you anytime we want to, and Mueller was clear. And that's exactly what he's doing here. It makes it very clear. You know, Julie, if he finds something in Cohen's possession that indicates that during the attorney-client during their relationship,
attorney-client privilege, yes.
Yeah, I know Trump had never said this and never will, that, oh yeah, I'm guilty of sin, but say hypothetically he said that. That'd never be admissible in court. Maybe some goofy district judge might allow it, but the Supreme Court would never allow that.
For the DOJ,
so
first of all, for the DOJ to go ahead and approve this search warrant to be executed, the SDNY, or the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, they would not go to a magistrate for a search warrant unless not only probable cause, but that they indeed had evidence. The question is then, why not subpoena that evidence? But why not subpoena that evidence?
But after we saw some of the WikiLeaks stuff that the Justice Department got to get all of Verizon records, you know, the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, it requires specificity. You've got to describe with particularity the thing to be searched, the things to be obtained. You've got to have probable cause evidence in the sworn testimony to show a crime was committed, and this is going to have evidence to show it. And it was a bubble buster for me, because it showed that Mueller and the FBI and the DOJ, they don't care about probable cause, and they can always find a judge to give them a warrant. This is all about trying to get something on Cohen so they can say, you're looking to lie for 1,000 years. I've seen them do it before. And you just need to tell us, true or not, that Trump did something, some crime, and then you won't be looking at any prison. They will do it. Mueller is corrupt enough, and people have got to come to the realization Mueller is not an honest, honorable man. He is out to get his people that he doesn't like, and he will do anything to bring them down. So that's what this is about.
I got to ask you about what to do with Mueller. Okay, so yesterday the president tweeted early, first thing in the morning, attorney-client privilege is dead, and then he went on to talk about the witch hunt, which he refers to the Russia investigation as. Okay, so then let me ask you, if there was ever a time that President Trump was going to fire Robert Mueller, the special counsel in this Russia investigation, it would be now. But there were many out there that say that would be an utter disaster if he were to do that right now. What do you think he should do about Mueller?
There is nobody in America that needs firing more than Mueller. He needs not only to be fired, he needs to be investigated for his part in helping the Clinton Foundation make $145 million from the sale of uranium when nobody knew more than Mueller did about the investigation, about the Russian efforts to get our uranium. He participated. He needs to be the target, not investigating. Right. And so nobody deserves to be fired more than he does. But from a political standpoint, when you got people like Lindsey Graham and other Republicans say, oh, no, if he fires Mueller, we're going to have to impeach him, he can't do it politically. Mm-hmm. So what needs to be done,
all right, we have to go.
We need to fire Rosenstein. He's got to go, and we need the appointment of a second counsel to investigate Comey, his leaks, Mueller, and Rosenstein. All of them need to be investigated. It's going to take a second counsel to do that.
All right, and that is still possible, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Great to see you as always.
Thank you.